Hey guys, it's Core Ross and World 6 News. Today we're testing a secret change in the lab test server for Rainbow Six Siege, which allows you to body tackle your way into barricades. Now a quick disclaimer, this is on the lab test server for Rainbow Six Siege, so that is testing future changes. I don't think this is going to make it in with the mid-season update. I think this will come in later, probably with the next season launch. And it does look a little bit janky in places, so I think there's going to be a little bit of improvement before we see it. So let's start with a rundown of how barricades work right now. So if you melee them twice, it'll give you the prompt to vault in either a window or a door barricade, and as such you will do the vault animation. And this looks perfect on windows, however on doors, it looks a little bit like you're stepping over air in order to enter the room. So it's just that window vault animation used in doorways, and it looks a little bit janky by itself, and that's the live servers right now. And this actually gives attackers a specific advantage that we'll go over later, but now we'll jump into the new shoulder barge way of going through barricades. So again, on the lab test server, if you melee that barricade twice, you get the vault prompt, but if you hit that prompt, you're going to actually barge through the barricade as if it's been weakened and you're using your body to actually bring it down, resulting in still a little bit of a janky animation, but much better than actually vaulting over air. Now overall, from the player's perspective, it's quite normal. You can still aim down sights and move in and stuff like that, but you do kind of accelerate quite quickly. You go from standing still to just suddenly pushing through, and it does seem a little bit weird and will throw me off for a little bit, and maybe the inertia needs to be modified in the animation, but overall it feels quite good. And then from another person's point of view, I think this is a better siege mechanic than, of course, the vaulting one. It looks much more like someone really coming into your objective, trying to push through and attack. So quite like the overall look of it. It definitely needs some animation tweaking, but it is 90% of the way there. Now let's talk about the big winner from this change, if it does of course make it to the live servers, as one operator is going to stand out on top here. Because with Kapkan, I never put my Kapkan traps on a barricaded door because they will probably vault right over it when they're coming in. So I currently rarely put Kapkan traps on barricaded doors. If this change makes it into the live game, I am totally back to putting Kapkan traps on barricaded doors, because when you vault through now, because it's this barging animation, your feet do remain on the ground, resulting in the Kapkan traps going off. So this is really good for Kapkan, and I think it'll make a big difference to trap placement in the future. Now let's move on to conclusion and overall thoughts that I have on this change. So first of all, it's not a change that we need. It's not like it's something I'm, calling out for, but I like it a lot. It first of all fixes the animation of where you're just stepping over air when you come through a barricade. That's great. And it kind of makes sense. Why would you vault a damaged barricade that's about to fall down anyway? And barging through it like this seems more siegey for me, so I'm quite liking that. And then I think for 90% of gameplay, and if they do just kind of work on this animation a little bit more, I think you're not really going to notice it that much, and it's just going to smoothly go into the game as it is. I think it's a good change overall, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing this come in. And I think it will change how you place Kapkan traps, but for every other operator, I imagine it's mostly going to stay exactly the same as it has been so far. I don't think anyone else gets an advantage or disadvantage from this, and Kapkan's the only winner here, and there's no losers to this change. You also still, going through these barricades, have exactly the same amount of control over your weapon and aiming and stuff like that, so that's all fine, and I don't think it's going to reduce the amount of capabilities. And of course, if you are in a situation where you don't want to vault in and you would normally just bust down that door, of course if you don't want to barge in, you would just bust down the door fully and walk through. So yeah, I think this is a very, very good change. It's a tiny one and it's a surprising one, but it's a really nice one to actually bring in. But anyway guys, that is a secret change that is in the lab test server that was not in the patch notes. And I'd love to know your opinions in the comments below, and be noted, of course, this may not appear until at least next season, probably at the earliest. But anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.